Preta Maria Gadelha Gil Moreira was born on August 8, 1974, in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, into a family deeply rooted in music and culture. Her father, Gilberto Gil, was not only a globally renowned musician, but also served as Brazil's Minister of Culture. Her mother, Sandra, worked behind the scenes while nurturing Preta and her siblings. Young Preta grew up amid a creative whirlwind, living in Rio and Salvador, traveling to Los Angeles when her father recorded, and soaking in a rich, worldly atmosphere from a very early age. As a child, Preta was creative and curious, with a vivid imagination and early dreams of performing. She loved watching TV shows featuring singers and performers, and would imitate her idols around the house. Despite her family's fame, she was often compared to them, especially her father and her godmother, Gal Costa. That pressure at times held her back. She chose to launch a marketing company in her 20s, stepping carefully into adulthood without immediately stepping into the limelight. At age 28, a series of vivid dreams about her late brother Pedro pushed her to reclaim a yearning for creative expression. She launched her solo music career with her debut album, Preta Porte, in 2003. The record, blending samba, funk, pop, and axé, announced her arrival with boldness. She followed with the self-titled album Preta in 2005, then Su Como So in 2012, celebrating authenticity, and Todas as Cores in 2017, showcasing maturity. She also released a live album in 2014, capturing the energy of her carnival troupe, Bloco da Preta, a cultural phenomenon she founded. Hundreds of thousands would follow her through the streets of Rio, singing and dancing. Her music went beyond entertainment. Preta was open about being pansexual, body positive, and politically engaged. She promoted equality, women's empowerment, anti-racism, LGBTQ+ rights, and self-acceptance, fighting stereotypes and championing diversity in a society that often resisted it. Offstage, she used her platform to host award ceremonies, appear in soap operas and TV series, and conduct entertaining episodes on talk shows, all while building her personal brand as an independent businesswoman, producer, and public figure. Her personal life saw ups and downs. She married actor Otavio Meller in the mid-1990s and welcomed her son Francisco in 1995. That relationship ended shortly afterward. Nearly 2 decades later, she married Rodrigo Godoy, a personal trainer and former athlete, in 2015. They separated in 2023. Through it all, she raised Francisco with love and introduced him to her world, eventually celebrating the birth of her granddaughter, Sol de Maria. In January 2023, Preta announced she had been diagnosed with rectal cancer. She underwent surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation therapy, and by the end of that year shared hopeful news of remission. But in August 2024, the cancer returned aggressively, spreading to her lymph nodes, abdomen lining, and urinary tract. She remained in Brazil for treatment, but by May 2025, she traveled to the United States seeking cutting-edge therapies. She was admitted to a renowned cancer institute in New York, where doctors treated her for over 7 weeks. Despite her illness, she shared candid posts about life with an ostomy bag, the daily challenges of chemo, and the emotional roller coaster of hope and despair. Rather than disappear from public consciousness, she chose to shine, encouraging others, breaking taboos and living loudly, defiantly, authentically. On July 20th, 2025, at the age of 50, Preta Gil passed away in the United States during a final stay at the hospital. She had been preparing to travel back to Brazil. She leaves behind her son Francisco, age 30, and granddaughter Sol, age 7, as well as a lifetime of music and cultural impact. Her father, sister, daughter, friends, and fans mourn her loss, honoring a woman whose laughter, defiance, and music resonated far beyond her years. Her contribution to Brazilian culture is vast. Experimental pop infused with Afro-Brazilian traditions, music that invited celebration and reflection, and a legendary carnival block that brought communities together in joy and song. Her presence opened doors for Black women in music, for queer artists, for mothers who didn't fit stereotypes. She hosted award ceremonies with elegance and strength, starred in television as herself and as a character, and bridged the entertainment industry and the corporate world as a producer and business founder. In the moments before she died, she was surrounded by love, from family that built her, friends that sustained her, and fans who celebrated her. Tributes poured in. Musicians recalled stage lightning energy. Activists praised a fierce sense of justice. Everyday Brazilians spoke of the jaw-dropping freedom they felt watching her live unapologetically as a fat black bi woman. She had made the impossible feel possible. Even in illness, she remained defiant. She sang, she danced, she joked about chemo wigs and afternoon naps. She humbled cancer with cadence. Her presence in hospitals inspired grief counselors, volunteers, and caregivers. Her story shifted public perception of cancer, from silence to solidarity, from shame to empowerment. Her public persona, bold, vibrant, boundary-pushing, belied a private tenderness. She wrote letters to her son and granddaughter, assured them she'd die whole, not undone, confident they'd carry her legacy. She urged loved ones to celebrate her life, not just grieve her death. What defined her more than anything was transformation. She was the kid who chased her parents backstage, wide-eyed and hungry, the marketing entrepreneur who leaned into music later in life, the activist who insisted on inclusion, the mother who proudly showed her daughter across generations, the patient who chose transparency in a private battle. Her legacy is not a voice lost, but a spark lit in music, media, hearts, and social justice. The Bloco da Preta continues to parade. Her albums will be played at parties, conferences, social justice gatherings. Her speeches about pansexuality and black pride will find their way into classrooms. Her laughter in interviews remains infectious. And in the lineages of Brazilian female artists, she belongs there, alongside those who broke molds. Daughter of a giant, she became a gentle giant herself, compassionate yet unbowed, joyous yet aware of pain, powerful yet vulnerable. She invited audiences to dance and think, to embrace difference and challenge norms. In her songs, she balanced sensuality and reflection. In her activism, she balanced pride and empathy. In her dying, she balanced honesty and courage. She left the stage at 50, but the stage will always remember her presence. Every carnival, every concert, every queer parade, every body-positive moment in Brazil owes something to her. Preta Gil's journey was short, yes, but every step resonated decades. She lived as though even retrospectively she would show up, and she did. And even as she rests, her music, her spirit, her laughter and fierceness remain alive in cultural rhythms. She climbed family expectations, media misconceptions, illness's harsh climb, only to build bridges back to beauty, creativity, truth, and unity. In death, she grants us the courage to live louder. And that, above everything, is the gift she leaves behind.